Hey guys, welcome to Innovate Over Imitate, where we talk about all the things homeschool related and beyond.
Absolutely. And today we are talking about the importance of going deep, right? Not just touching the surface, but actually diving deep into the subjects that we're actually teaching and leading our children in.
Absolutely. I think that it's super important that no matter what your personality is, no matter what your goals are for homeschooling, public schooling, or even private school education, but I think that as parents, it's really important that we figure out one, what our children are learning to see kind of how they are learning it. I know that in some education realms, there's a lot of scratching the surface. It's almost as if we're going to talk about whales. If I say whales and I can name like 3 different kinds, then that might be it in some educational sectors. However, we know as people who have homeschooled now for over a decade, and longer than that, but we'll just use a decade for reference.
That's
that
good.
It's important that when our kids are learning about whales, children innately want to learn about more. They don't want to learn the names. They want to learn what is a whale and how does a whale differ from other animals? Where do whales reside? What do they eat? What makes them different than anything else?
Right.
And so when we're not diving in to really dive deep into those things, then we are teaching kids that on the surface is okay. And it doesn't matter. We don't ever have to dive in. And we're teaching them that they don't have to understand how to navigate the learning process or even seek more information.
Absolutely. And that ties back to how, the ancients learned, right? A lot of times we feel like we can just, with just touching the surface, we're teaching kids to memorize facts versus loving the idea of exploring a topic. And when you explore a topic, you actually go deep into learning more about that specific subject. Again, like you mentioned, not just learning names, but why are whales the biggest? The why is right. The why is so important, right? And what comes to mind for me is STEM projects and STEM classes and things of that nature. Just doing a hit and miss activity in STEM is okay every now and again. But when you're trying to build out a program for your student that's centered around a specific topic, you want to go deeper than just a hit and miss activity. What do you think?
Absolutely. Well, I'm a pediatric therapist by trade, and so I specialize in neurology and the development of the mind and the whole child, the whole person. And it blows me away when people are more enthusiastic about checking the boxes. Yes, my kid has a STEM class. Yes, my kid has art or language or music or core, whatever it is. Like, I get the innate desire as parents that we can check those boxes off. But as a therapist, I see so many times when people are on kids, like screens can't be our babysitters. And I'm sorry if I'm stepping on toes, but the problem is that when we have screens as our babysitters, then we're increasing the neural impulses. And that's a whole nother podcast. But the whole point of it is when we give kids this, I'm just picking up a screen real quick. When we give kids this, because it's easier for us to do the things that we need to do as an adult, and they are locked in here, what is not connected to this? Well, you know what's not connected to this? I'm sorry. I'm pulling. This mouse is not connected to this, right? What else is not connected to this? This keyboard is not connected to this. And so then what happens is you sign your kid up for a STEM program and they love video games and they're really great at doing all the things on your phone, but are they really? And how come we're not really talking about how those things are created? Why they're created, how those things connect to one another. How is a phone different from a computer? Is it different?
And how it relates to their experience in learning and career development, right? Because everything that our children are learning, whether it's around biology, history, science,
academia,
anything that they're learning is going to be used to help them build out some future career, some future lifestyle that they want to build for themselves, right? And so we've got to get beyond just wanting to check the boxes. Now, again, I get it. I'm one of those parents that likes for their kids to explore different topics and have, different experiences. So we may not go deep on everything, but the core subjects is super important to move past just memorizing facts. Our kids don't connect when they're just memorizing the facts. They have to find a way. I think they learn better and retain better when they are able to explore things, especially things that they're passionate about and they naturally, want to learn more about. Listen, feel comfortable with stopping and pausing long enough within that particular subject or topic to let them dive deeper, right? Don't feel like we have to, oh, well, we learned that much, now we got to move to history. We learned that much, now we got to go. Don't feel like you have to jump from topic to topic to topic like that. But give them breathing room to be able to, explore those various subjects in a much deeper way, because that's how, again, when we talk about how people from history, the greats from history learned, they did it through the passion of exploration. That is so super important.
They walked through it. They were able to experience it.
Explore
it.
That's the point.
The various layers. I mean, there's so many layers of learning.
Yeah.
Right? There's some things that we want to learn, some things that we don't want to learn.
Right.
And so an example, we'll go to cooking. So if you're talking about cooking, well, yeah, everyone knows what cooking is because our families eat. But if we really wanted to dive in, we could take anything and dive in.
Yeah.
And so why are we not teaching kids how to love learning?
Yeah.
Having a passion that ignites their spark to be like, ooh,
yeah,
I want to know more. Like, let's go from a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to pasta. Well, people like pasta. Well, where does it come from? Where does it originate? How do you make pasta?
Right.
Now you have all the things. You have math, you have science, you have hands-on, you have
that right there,
culinary, and you have career connection.
Yeah.
Why are we not exposing our kids to things that are positive that they can then see, oh, I understand where this connects to.
Right.
There's so much more out there. And why are we looking like what we've seen before? Why are we afraid to cultivate a new path and really challenge our kids to have critical thinking moments?
I love that. And again, making those connections across disciplines, right? You just mentioned cooking. Now we have science, we have math, we have history, right? We have geography, all
entrepreneurship, business.
I mean, there's so many ways to integrate these things into the learning experience. And so again, that's what we try to cultivate at Rise. And that's what you can cultivate inside of your homeschool journey, is creating an environment where your children get to explore these topics. And again, not just for memorizing facts, but truly explore these learning experiences in a way that's meaningful to them.
Absolutely. So I think that there's some ways that you can do that today. And some of the tips that we have for you to do that is just really slow down.
Yeah.
It's not a race.
Yeah.
It's okay if you don't check the boxes. You have to give yourself grace.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
Like, I could have made my kids study up on all the historical facts of New York.
Right.
Before we went. That would have been what the educator in me wanted to do.
Right.
But it wouldn't have been fun for them. Instead, we get to New York and they're like, oh my gosh, I know what this is. And I remember who built it. And I know how it got built. And how many stories. Did you know that building has this many stories? Like, that is what I want.
Yeah.
I want them to be able to learn it in a way that allows them to connect it to other things.
Yeah.
That motivate them intrinsically.
Right.
Not just to check my boxes, because my boxes they may never be able to check on my boxes.
Yeah, I don't know if
I got a lot of boxes.
You got a lot of boxes.
A lot of boxes. And so, one, take your time. Race, it's not a race. Okay. 2 is enjoy it with them. Like, walk alongside. That is one of the beauties of homeschooling, is the time that you get with your children.
That is so true.
To be able to walk alongside and reclaim your academics.
Yes. How much have we learned?
Oh my gosh. You know what I've learned? I've learned so many things, but I've also learned things about what I don't want to learn.
Yeah.
And what I don't have room in my head for.
Right.
Like Latin is one of them.
Oh, come on.
As a medical professional, guess
Latin?
what? I use medical terminology Latin. But
it's Latin.
I'm not going to talk to you in Latin. I'm not going to talk about fighting in the shade. Like, that's the only thing I can
remember. But wouldn't it be so cool to tell somebody something in Latin? But you know what? That's so true. Never mind, keep going. I was going to go. I don't want to take it down a whole new.
Is customize your learning path.
Yes.
If you are using an out-of-the-box approach, I don't even know what this is, but let's just say this is the curriculum you're using, and you are going to open it up. Guess what? You can do whatever you want to with whatever's in this box. It does not have to be just what's written down. Like, get creative.
That's true.
And have fun. And don't feel like you're married to whatever you purchase just because of the budget.
Yeah.
Like, if your kid is crying every time you pull it out, you got to read the room and figure out, is this battle worth it? Because ultimately we have multiple hats, right? We have a hat of I'm your mother, I'm your educator, I am your academic advisor, I am your future boss. I'm all of those things, but how can we maintain that relationship in a way that lets them know that we are sacrificing our own careers, our time, because we love you,
Yeah.
not because we hate you and we have to push you through these boxes to get to the end of time, because time goes fast, guys.
Oh,
It
goes
goes
fast.
fast.
And can I just tie that back to your previous point real quick? I know we're going to wrap this up real quick, but making sure that when you're walking alongside them, you're learning with them and you're experiencing that. Listen, you'll never get these years back. They go by so fast. Take advantage of the ability to be able to share this time and exploring and learning with your kids, because it's so valuable.
It's so valuable. Be able to connect the things that you're learning with careers so that they know. If I ask a kid, what do they want to be when they grow up, whether they're 6 or 16, those answers vary so widely. But the key and common denominator of those answers are, what have they ever seen before?
Yeah.
What's gone on before them?
Right.
And so if I can connect those things, look for someone. Like if your kid is interested in space, see if you can connect with an astronaut. Like,
And you can. It sounds impossible, but you absolutely
not
can. They have programs at NASA all the time, and I'm sure somewhere in your city, if you're not in Houston, that there are programs for them to even connect online with these types of people in different various industries and careers. I mean, it's so many resources available now to be able to connect in those ways.
Absolutely. And so I think that for Rise Education Group and homeschool classes, like, we do the due diligence of really not only diving deep. I could care less about a scratch the surface thing. I want to understand the why. I want my kids to understand the why. So we do that. We also connected career focused and career connections on every single thing. And we connect the classes. How does STEM fit in with science? Like, science of how does this grow? Well, it does. How does it connect with cooking? How does it connect with literature? How does it connect with history and computers and all the things? And they are all so interwoven and interconnected that when we use this interdisciplinary approach and really allow our kids to dive in deep, we are complementing them in ways that they don't even know.
That's right. That's right.
So
So those are just some quick tips to help you think about, your homeschool journey. Again, taking time to slow down, give yourself grace. It's not a race. Understanding how to interconnect those disciplines across the board. Again, we talked about cooking, integrating history, geography, science, and math, and taking time to learn with your child as you're growing through your homeschool journey.
Absolutely. Enjoy the journey.
Yes.
Enjoy it.
All right. Let us know in the comments what you think, how your homeschool journey is going. If you have some great tips to share with our parents around homeschooling, or, if there's a topic that you want us to talk about, let us know. We definitely are here to walk alongside you. Want to give you the tools and resources to make your journey experience, your homeschooling experience, exceptional. So thank you so much for rising with us today. And we look forward to seeing you again next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.